Kia ora, good morning. Right, so I figured it out. I am going to use Roisin as our version of Harry Potter, and I figured out how we're going to get her from Ireland to France in the movie if we make it in France, or Ireland to America if we make the movie in America. If it's made in America, it's because the will of God. I'm not going to complain either way. I don't care as long as I get my school built and I make all the stuff that I want to make. So, God, my bloody phone goes alert, 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 alert. It's annoying me. So, okay, so Roisin is going to be from the daughter from Becoming Spellbound. I've changed the name. You know how it was Julie and John? It's now Sam and Joseph. And if it's in France, it's going to be there on holiday in France. Sam wants to take Roisin to the carnival, to this Halloween carnival festival thing, because she wants to see whether she's going to get chosen. You know, like the whole Dalai Lama thing. So they take her on holiday to France to go to this festival, or if it's in America, they take her to Salem because, like with me in real life, Salem was on my bucket list. I want to go back there and I want to spend a few days there because I never got to have a look around. I only got to see like a couple of things, like the museum and the House of Seven Gables. But I never got to look around the town. I never got to go to the cemeteries or anything like that. I never got to engage in the stuff because I had to basically be on a bus to go over to see Martin for the first time, which I should never have done. But anyway, so yeah, so it's going to be they're basically Sam and Joe are going to take Roisin over for a holiday at the time of this Halloween carnival. And that's when she gets chosen. And so they have to make the decision to leave her there. So she basically joins the boarding school. She gets signed up and she joins the boarding school. And that's how her Irish character will go from, so we'll have to probably film the first couple of scenes in Ireland and her getting all excited because she's heading to France or Salem for this Halloween carnival that she has no idea she's about to be chosen for the boarding school. And then the parents having to make the decision, like Sam and Joe, having to make the decision to leave her there because like she's been chosen. And Sam knows why she's been chosen. Because it kind of starts, this is what I'm saying, like I had no idea what I was making. It's all kind of explained already in Becoming Spellbound. So I even had an idea of doing a scene where Roisin is with her school, you know, when they're fighting, I had it correctly before, Abizu, when they're fighting Abizu and her minions at the end, right? I even had an idea of doing flashes of other movies that have yet to be made that involve the kids that will be at the school. So like flashes of War Baby, flashes of yeah, their bloodlines, like flashes, but it means that we'd have to like put in scenes from movies that we haven't made yet, but is symbolic of the bloodlines being conjured. I'm just discussing with my sister at the moment for her character. She doesn't want to be called Miss Francis. So I'm letting her pick her name, and she's decided that she wants to be a sorceress. So she's going to be the teacher who teaches sorcery. So I'm just waiting for her to pick her character's name, and then we can build the aesthetic for her character. So then I know who to look for her actress and that. But it's all, I said to her, she could be Asti, Asti Richardson from the Quantum Menace, because Asti is immortal. Or she could be the goddess, the fire goddess, in Lucian's dragon, because I made her a fire goddess as well. Lucian meets her on his way to climb the Phoenix Mountain to return the Firestone to the Phoenix that Sal the genie stole. She meets the fire goddess. Lucian meets the fire goddess, and yeah, so that was based after my sister Erin. So, because obviously people inspire me, and if I love you, I put you in the stuff that I create, and if I don't, I make you one of the bad guys. So I did have an idea of doing flashes in the movie that conjure scenes from movies yet to be made, that is like drawing on their bloodlines to help the kids fighting the present day Abizu. But it just means that when we did make those movies, later on, we'd have to have those exact scenes. Do you see what I mean? So it's a kaleidoscope. But in the first movie that we make, it's because they're conjuring and drawing on the strength of, in Māori, we call it mana, which is why I wanted to call my streaming service Mana TV. But it's drawing on the mana. It's why we do the haka when we stamp the ground and shake the ground, because we're waking our ancestors up so that they can give us mana. We have that spiritual authority, and they give us the strength to fight our enemy in battle. So it would be like a scene based around the Māori practice of mana through like a haka. Because if we're going to have like, the main character from, like, say, the War Babies bloodline, like with me, it was based on my Uncle Nick. So it would be like his great grandson would be the main character in Miss Amber's School of Alchemy. It would be my Uncle Nick's character in War Babies, his grandson would be called to the school. Do you see what I mean? So, yeah, but I'm getting excited because, like, I'm starting to realize what I've just created. It's been there this whole time, and it's turned into this kaleidoscope of supernatural magic that is, it's blowing my own mind because I didn't realize what the hell I was creating. Now, I've put a link in the description box below of this video. I've also posted it on my social medias and my last live, because I forgot to talk about it. Some of these places and some of these events and some of the inspiration for the storylines for this are based on real villages in the United Kingdom, which is why I said, push comes to shove, if Starmer was gone, I could make this movie in England, just like with Harry Potter and all that, which, I mean, I don't want people thinking I'm copying, because technically I came first, because my people have been doing this for centuries, but I could at a push do it in the United Kingdom. But they talk about the devil dogs in this video, and the village with the 6 witches, how there's always 6 witches in the village. It's the same thing as like having the 8 kids at the 8 bloodlines at the boarding school. It's all based on real events. It's all based on real stuff, but I'm correcting the myths behind it. I'm, like, if you click on the video, you'll see about the devil dog with the scratches on the door, and how they found the skeleton of the 7-foot dog and all of that. Like, this is all going to be brought into the story, because I want to teach people real history, and I want to teach people by knowing the truth about history, it rewrites it. So, like, if you click on the video when it talks about the Canadian army, I think it was the Canadian military that were stationed at this village for World War One, and there's graves. Some of them were executed, some of them were murdered, some of them died from the Spanish flu. But you know, there's stories behind some of these Canadians that died there before they even got to see battle, where their names need to be cleared. And this is what I was saying. This movie's going to be able to do all of that. This is what Joan of Arc was talking about in My Ghost Zombie Dream. So it's all based on real events. It's all based on real people. It's all based on real people who were executed and persecuted for things they didn't do, for misunderstandings, for misinterpretations, or because they were fed because people thought they were witches. So by me making this movie, I'm rewriting history and clearing their names and bringing truth to misunderstandings in that. In regards to like this one church, they had to shut it off to the public because people were going there and tearing the place apart to do their occult rituals and all this bullshit, and that because of the belief that had been put on the occult practices that happened at this church. And now nobody gets to enjoy the church. It's private now, which is not what churches were built for. So I'll be able to write all of this into the movie. I'll even be able to bring the family in from the Porcelain Rabbit. A lot of this storyline has already been written in other books that I've written, like The Porcelain Rabbit and The Amber Rose and War Babies and all that. I just need to sew it all together. It's like a patchwork quilt of movies that's been sewn in to make one big movie. The first movie, the first live action. Oh, my scars are hurting. And so, yeah, Roisin Marie is going to be our version of Harry Potter. So, yeah, so if you click on the link for the video below, you'll see what I'm talking about. Because this is my world. This is like, welcome to my world. This is the life I've been living my entire life. It's like I keep saying, that movie Practical Magic is pretty much my childhood, was watching my big sisters. So it's exciting because there's never going to be another movie like it ever made, ever. And it's exciting. So, yeah. So if I'm in Switzerland, it'll get made in France. If the Lord wants me in America, I'll make it in Salem. Otherwise, my next option would be England. But I kind of am starting to like the idea of making movies in different countries. I could even do one in Australia based on the Yowie or Sam Squanch, Bigfoot. I could turn that into a whole thing. And then we can get kids from those countries to come in and be a part of it. But with Harry Potter, with our version of Harry Potter, the main character is going to be Roisin Marie, who you'll meet her first before you find out her parents' story, because becoming spellbound will be made after Harry Potter. Becoming spellbound could technically be part 2. Harry Potter. God, sorry, not Harry Potter. Miss Amber's School of Alchemy. Becoming spellbound could technically be the prequel to Miss Amber's School of Alchemy that tells the story of why Roisin's bloodline is so special, why Roisin's bloodline is so important. So the first movie would be about her being the ninth element, But this part 2 would be the story of how her parents, Sam and Joseph, got together, and, you know, her mum's bloodline, her father's bloodline, how they broke the curse. Because remember, in becoming spellbound, it was Joseph's ancestors that were responsible for the execution of Sam's ancestor Abigail, who was executed for witchcraft, and he didn't defend her. And she puts a curse on Joseph's family and her bloodline to protect the women from having their hearts broken by false love, and to curse his bloodline so that they never find true love. That, you know, that they're like doomed to wander the earth as the eternal bachelor sort of thing. Like, you don't deserve love. You don't deserve to know what love is, and blah, blah, blah sort of thing. And then by Joseph and Sam coming together in the future, they break the curse. And then they have Roisin. So becoming spellbound in itself is magical. So I kind of, it's like it's all been writing itself. And of course, The Porcelain Rabbit was the first book I ever wrote. And The Porcelain Rabbit's going to play a significant role in this movie, because it's talking about this little boy who grew up in a Wicca family, in an indigenous Wicca family, and his story is him explaining the science of everything that a Wicca knows to be. Which means I can just take all of that, fiddle it about a bit, change a few things about it, but all the information's already there to turn into the script. My mum said blah, 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 blah. And one day my granny said blah, 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 because that was my childhood. My mum taught me this, and my granny taught me this, because, you know, he's talking about his Māori bloodline, all the things that his mother and his grandmother taught him, and how he's proud to be Wicca. And he explains, you know, my mum said that when I see the man at the cemetery this, and my mum said that this happened because of this, and I can put, just if I just rewrite it a little, I can put all of that into the movie. It's like the script has pretty much already been written. I just need to fiddle with it and sew it all together like a quilt. So all my movies that I've created, all the books that I've written in that, based on the occult, like Ascensions and the occult and all of that, that uses magic and all of that, it's a kaleidoscope that when you look through it, starts from this one movie. Or this one movie has been made up of all the pieces in the kaleidoscope. However way you want to look at it. I had no idea the monumental impact of what it was I was creating all those years ago. And when people find out that all this stuff is real, that this stuff can be real, and that there'll be a real store that sells this real stuff that's going to be used in this movie based on real events, that's going to cross over real spirits and free a lot of trapped spirits and free the souls of witches and your people executed for being witches and stuff. When people find out how real this supernatural magic is, they're going to be falling over themselves to be a part of it, especially the first airing. Because I need to be able to release it so that when the movie plays, it comes up on our streaming service so that people are all watching it at the same time. And just by the sheer act of watching it is going to release all the spirits that were trapped, like those Canadian soldiers and the Salem witches and anyone stuck. So yeah, so click on the link of the video below so that you'll see about these villages. I would love, before I head out, to go to Switzerland or America, wherever the Lord needs me to go to some of these places and investigate them, but not just to make shows for my the Mystery Inside History from a channel, but for research for the movie as well. And then I'd love to be able to like have a look around France to do research as well, or Salem, New England especially, like from upstate New York through to like Maine and all of that, where they had a lot of issues with the witch trials and all of that. Drive around and do research, for the movie, and then go somewhere nice and quiet so that I can get on my laptop and write this movie out and turn it into a script. I'll write it out and then I'll find a script writer to help me turn it into a script, and then we'll make the movie. Alpha to Omega. Because it's a brand new movie made up from the scripts of probably 80% of everything that I've been creating for years. I always said I wanted Andre's Dragon to be the next Harry Potter. Harry Potter, but real, I said, when I sent it into publishers, one publisher said to me, it took this woman 3.5 years to write the first book, and you think that you can just come along and replace it just like that? And I thought, just watch me, because you don't know what I'm creating. You don't know how magic I am. So, but yeah, it was never meant to be published because it was never meant to be Andre's Dragon. It was always meant to be Lucian's. Martin doesn't deserve to be anywhere near this movie. The only contribution he made was he came up with the name Old Town, Old York. That was his contribution. Call it Old York. And now it's not even going to be called Old York. Like I rewrote the name Aboracom, which is the old original word for York. But I'm going to rename it to whatever the fictitious name is going to be in my version of Harry Potter. So it's not going to be called Aboracom anymore. I'm going to change the name. Completely remove York from it. Getting him off me. Because getting him and Chris off me. And yeah, so whether I make it in France or Salem, it's going to have a fictitious name. The town is going to have a fictitious name. And whatever fictitious name that's going to be, whether it's French or like to do with Salem, the fictitious name is going to be the name of my foundation, the town of my foundation. Tearing it all down and rewriting it. Getting Chris and Martin off me. The only contribution they ever made was York, because I live in Yorkshire. York is one of my favourite places in England. It's a beautiful little city. But I need to get Chris off me. And Martin named it Old York and when I first wrote Andre's Dragon. And then I renamed it to Aboracom. But I'm renaming it. It's the fictitious town is going to be what it's going to be called. And then I can sit and rewrite Lucian's Dragon after I've done the script for Masamba's School of Alchemy. And that's when I will strip the name Bear to have any connection to York. Just like I covered Chris up with my tattoo that needs to be finished on the back of my neck, and I'll be covering up my tattoo on my arm of Martin, getting them off me, and any contribution that they, or any energetic connection they have to what I'm creating in this beautiful story that technically started when I wrote The Porcelain Rabbit. And he'd ring up every night at 7 o'clock and I'd read him chapters with my boy sitting around the phone. And then that's when I said to him, "Do you?" Because he loved he loved that book so much. He said, like, the best part of his day was ringing me up to hear my story. And then after I finished it, I said, "Do you want me to write a book about you?" And he said, "Yes, please." I got to chapter 15 when all hell broke loose. And then I continued writing it in my head. And now I'm tearing it all down and making it Lucian's dragon, the bringer of light. Lucian's dragon, and the town's not going to have any connection to Yorkshire or York, old or new. Energetically pushing them away. I just need to come up for a name, and it's all going to depend on whether the movie is made in France or Massachusetts, New England, somewhere. So, Sam and Joseph, Samantha and Joe. Right. So there we go. It's growing bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Oh, I know you know this, but I've blocked you. Oh, sorry, I've unblocked you. If you miss me so much, like, come correct. Just please be you. No more. No more, no more, no more, no more. Because if you want to be a part of my world, people, we've got a lot to do. And so I don't want to have to spend time dicking about with fake accounts, fake names, fake personas and that, because people are too scared to approach me because they don't know how I'm going to react. But I don't care about any of that. Just come correct, come honest, come as you are. Come as you are, as you were, as I know you to be. Having said that, there's only 4 people from my past that I'm prepared to hear from, and 2 of them I gave birth to. So the other 2 are in Massachusetts. Right. So I'm going to go. I shall speak to you later. This is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. I'm so excited. This is going to blow Harry Potter out of the water. I'm sorry, but it is. It really is. I'm going to need incredible publicists and marketing people. I'm going to have training on how to speak in interviews and stuff in order to be able to convey what the hell it is that I've just created from all the seeds that I'd planted in the past. And everybody watching is going to help me create the rapture for a lot of trapped souls throughout history. And it's beautiful. So I'm going to go. I'll speak to you later. Ka kite anō. Mwah.